What is happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. We are back in the garage with the M4 GTS, and today we're throwing more Eventuri carbon fiber parts on the car. Huge shout out to Keys Motorsports for sending out the Eventuri S55, M4, M3, F8X carbon fiber intakes for my GTS. I'm gonna lead you guys through the install process and show you everything with this product. Really excited to get this on. I think our engine bay is about to look a whole lot better. As you guys saw, we recently also did the Eventuri charge pipes, which look so good. Adding that intake is just going to be the cherry on top. The Eventuri intakes do increase flow and efficiency, as well as adding a 15 to 20 horsepower gain just by adding the Eventuri intakes to our M4 GTS. If you guys are interested in buying this product, I'm gonna have it linked down below, but let's get into the install. Apologize beforehand, we've gotta have the fan on today because it is super hot in here, but here is our beautiful Eventuri carbon fiber intake. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. It's a work of art. They also included the air scoops for right behind the front grills, so we're gonna be installing those as well. And this is the entire kit. We've also got some hardware here, our couplers, our clamps, and if you guys are interested on any of the install stuff, it's right here. They give you a couple of decals, checklist, everything. So we are good to go. This entire kit just looks unbelievable, which I pretty much already knew it would. Eventuri is very well known for having extremely high quality products for the F8X models and other cars. So we're just gonna jump right into the install, you guys. It's gonna be kind of similar to when we started out with the charge pipes. We're gonna have to remove the carbon strut brace. We're gonna remove all the plastic back there. Of course, take out the intake, unplug our MAF sensor. Got a vacuum over here to unplug, another sensor right there. Intakes, you know, not too difficult. I think the only different part really is going to be the front air scoops. I believe we have to pull off the grill. We'll see if I can finesse it without taking off, you know, part of the bumper. Sometimes you can get lucky, but sometimes it does require taking off some of the bumper and getting back there. We'll see what I can get away with. With the carbon fiber strut brace, man, this whole thing is gonna look very, very good. I'm also considering getting the carbon fiber engine cover. Tell me what you guys think. Let me know if you think I should go ahead and do that. Let's start with removing all the plastic trim pieces. It's 10 millimeters all the way across. You turn them halfway, pop them off, and then you'll have this 10 millimeter right here. You'll have a couple of little plastic rivet pieces you gotta pop out, one right there too. Then all of this stuff just comes right out. All right, let's get into it. That is the easiest part. More than likely it's going to be the easiest part. So we just removed both intake pipes, as you guys saw. Just be careful not to break any lines. Be gentle with stuff when you're pulling it out, but very simple. Now what we want to do is we want to transfer over our MAF sensors. We've got 2 of them on each intake here. We're going to start with the larger one. This is a T20, so we'll pop this out. Just make sure when we are transferring this into our new intake pipe that we use the supplied hardware. Those screws are meant for plastic. These are meant for the metal. So let's go ahead and transfer those over. They only go in one way, so you should be able to make sure that they're positioned correctly, and you'll know whether or not it's going in the right way. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. Both mass airflow sensors are transferred over. We're good to go there. We're going to focus on these 2 air ducts for the inside of the engine bay. These are where the filters will actually lay. We're going to take the right one, which is the larger one, and looking at the car, it's going to go on this side, and it's basically just going to sit in there just like this. So if we're looking at the engine bay on the right side, you've got this plastic piece right over here, and there's 2 holes on each side. We're going to use plastic rivets that they give us with this kit, and you basically want to slide this piece over the existing plastic piece. I'm going to need 2 hands to do it, but those holes will line up with the previous holes, and then we'll use those little plastic rivets to secure it down. Should sit in nice and snug in that corner. the one that gives you a little bit of trouble. It's kind of tough to get in there. You can just barely fit your hands. I ended up using a needle nose pliers and then a flathead to actually push it in. I ended up losing one in the process, but you guys can order one of these kits online on Amazon, and it has like literally every size plastic push pins. So good thing I had this. Plenty of backups. So that one is a bit of a tight fit. This one should be a lot easier. Got a lot more room to work with on this side. So same deal with this one. We're gonna be sliding this into that air duct down there and then popping in the push pins through each side. All right, got them both in. Again, super tight fitment on this side, but that is what we want for sure. We're gonna have a little bit of movement in these, but that's okay. You're gonna want that when you're adjusting the intake and everything in. All right, so we've got 3 different couplers here, silicone couplers. We got 2 80s and 1 76 millimeter. We're gonna take the 76 millimeter and attach it to our inlet, which is right there. So we will be assembling the left side of the car first. So first we're going to take the left side air filter and connect it with the short tube, and it should look something like that. We'll take one of those 80 millimeter couplers and throw that in between there. All right, so I have this oriented the way that I want, and I left the top clamp loose so I can twist this part, and I left the bottom clamp tight. So that way I should be able to throw it in just like that and then move things if I need to. This end is obviously gonna meet up to your inlet, and this end is gonna meet up to the duct right there. Now we can go reconnect the mass airflow sensor. And you're gonna notice this sort of gets relocated. It used to clip into there, it no longer does, but you won't see that anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So this is how it should look once it's all seated in. You're gonna notice that rubber comes up and creates that seal between the air duct and the air filter. It's really nice, super, super sturdy intake, no movement whatsoever. Everything fits like OEM. Eventuri, man, just doing their thing. They put so much time and energy into the research of making sure that these parts are really well manufactured. And that's kind of why with this car, I felt like I was gonna just go for the nicest intakes that I could get my hands on. So this is my first time ever using their products, and they are really, really impressive. I'm very happy with the outcome so far. Now we're gonna get into the longer intake portion. Got the tube right here. We've got our filter right here. It's gonna get set up something like that. Take our 80 mil coupler, put it in there, throw it in the car. All right, we are tight up top, loose on bottom. I'm gonna leave it like that. This is basically just gonna go in like this, obviously in right here. Watch for your vacuum and mass airflow sensor. Kind of get that out of the way. And yeah, I'm just gonna tuck it in. So it's gonna hit this inlet all the way across into here. You also have a little clamp right here for this tube. All right, we got everything together. Everything is plugged in. Looks really, really good. I'm gonna go ahead and throw everything back in from the beginning. And let's take a look at how this thing looks. Yo, this thing looks so crazy. I kind of dig the OEM engine cover. I don't know, tell me what you guys think. Should I do carbon? Like match everything else, or should I just keep it like factory? It kind of looks dope, just factory. So I got other stuff coming. We're nowhere near finished, but this looks really freaking good, dude. Oh my God. Eventuri, all the way across. Man, I can't wait to hear how this sounds. The induction is already crazy in this car, especially with the GTS hood. With that intake screaming, man, I think it's gonna be really, really loud. All right, so now we have to focus on the front air ducts that go inside of the grill, like right here. In order to do so, there are little tabs in here, and you have to push down in the center, and they should come off one by one. You can do this without removing the front bumper. I've done it before. You just take a little bit of finessing. But there's basically like a center tab that you push in, and then on the outside you have to push out and you slide it out. I typically like to start with the inside like that, and you can feel the tab and you'll slowly be able to get it out, and then you just work your way around. Now, it's really tight fitment, especially with the thicker grills like this, but you can do it. You can definitely do it. And the good thing is once you have one of these out, you can reach your hand behind and get to all these. Like the second one is real easy. So I'm gonna focus on that, try and get that out. All right, got them removed. Pretty easy. Just use like a flat head and get behind there and pop up those little clips. Let's see. So there's these rubber guards right here that we have to take out. And I think it's just held on by this little rubber tab. You pull it, it pops out like that. This little piece comes right out. And that is right where our air ducts are gonna go. And there's a mounting point right there on the crossbar. So I think this is this one. This carbon needs to go under the bumper right here. Let's see if I can finesse it here. I'm gonna need two hands to do it. There we go. And now we will go ahead and throw in our rivet piece in that corner back there. That's where we do it. So air will just flow into there, through here, and into our intake, and into our turbos. All right, I'm gonna knock out the other side quick. All right, we got both of the carbon air ducts in and ready to flow into our Eventuri intakes. Dude, this is so sick. So sick. I'm gonna throw the grills back in real quick. All right, I think it's time to go for a ride. Now I'm gonna do this a little bit differently. I have another microphone, an external mic, and I'm gonna set that up in the engine bay so we can hear some really good induction noises as we go for the first ride. And of course I'll give you guys my reaction, but God, this looks so good. I love how they're like carbon fiber. They're low key, you can't really see them until you get up close. They look really cool. Oh. When you let off. God, this car handles so good. Wow. Dude, that is crazy sounding. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Probably can't. But it sounds wicked. This car in the corners is the best handling car that I've ever owned by a long shot. Like, that is why I love this car so much. Oh, it's so good. This car is so good. That's why I bought it. That right there is why I bought this car. So I know for you guys watching this video, I probably had the car, you think I've had the car for a little bit, but I've actually been filming and editing 2 videos per day. So this is like a little bit over a week into the ownership of this car, and this is where we're at. Crazy. Like, the progress has been faster and more intense on this car than any other car I've ever owned. And the other thing that I really like about this car, man, in general, this car has been the coolest and most exciting car for me personally that I've ever purchased. It just does everything that I've wanted a car to do straight out of the box. And every time I add a little bit more to it, it just gets that much better. It never ceases to amaze me how this thing performs. But yeah, man, these intakes, everything in here, just, oh God, just look at it. It's just sexual, man. This thing looks so good. And these carbon ceramics just shine through these wheels. Too good. So the one thing that I am going to be changing, and I know I mentioned this before, is I'm going to be switching up the tires to 35 sidewalls. These are 30s all around, and I think I can get a little more meat out of this. These are just a little too close to like rubber band for me. I'd like to see these just a little bit larger. And this car in general is already, as you guys know, like very, very stiff. So what I think I'm gonna do is try and find like a Michelin setup with the 35 sidewalls. And I think that's gonna land us in a really good position. These are pretty much brand new tires. So I'll just probably go ahead and either hang on to these or sell them or just save them for a track day maybe, who knows. But yeah, dude, this thing has just turned out so good, man. I ordered the black risers from IND. These are the silver ones that came on it. So a lot of people were asking about the wing. This is still a factory GTS wing. It just has the RKP risers, which are a little bit bigger. My friend Carnicopia, who has a yellow GTS, it's wrapped. He has a yellow M4 GTS. He did actually tell me that they make the GT4 risers, which are still higher than stock, but not as high as the RKP. So we'll see what I end up doing. I might switch it up to that. It's interesting because on camera with this really wide lens, like my arm looks really long, right? It's not super long, it's just a wide lens. It makes the wing look really big. You gotta see it in person, man. You really do. Like, this wing with the car, the way that it's set up, it actually looks really, really good. But it just looks a little funky on camera. And I know that you guys can see that, and that's why you typically are like, oh, take the wing off, it looks so bad. But I really do like the wing. That was a huge part of the development of the M4 GTS. That's part of the reason why this car performs so good at high speeds. The wing and that downforce keeps that rear end low, man. It's an important factor to the way that this car is set up. So I will possibly do the GT4 risers. I want to see them in person on my friend's car and kind of make that decision from there. But I love the wing. The wing ain't going nowhere, so you guys can give up on that. Anyways, guys, another successful install on the M4 GTS. This car is gonna be crazy for the Keys show. Crazy. We're only like a week and a half in and it already looks absolutely insane. I've already done like most of the stuff that I really wanted to do to it as far as the exterior, like the wheels, the headlights, black badging, some carbon bits here and there. I got a couple of more carbon things coming, but it's going to get good. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna have this intake linked down below. The induction noise is insane. I don't know that I really feel a horsepower difference. It's an intake. They do claim 15 to 20, but without like actually dynoing it, I wouldn't know. I am gonna also run a tune on this car. I'm probably just gonna run like the straight up M4 GTS tune from boot mode, and then we'll go ahead and slap those downpipes on and figure out what we wanna do with the rest of the exhaust. But I wanna get a lot of that ironed out before we do the Key show. I know some of you guys are asking about the other cars, the E36 M3, the E30, the S54, all that stuff. It's still happening, but right now it's a little bit on halt because this is the focus and I wanna get it ready for the Keys show. Speaking of Keys Motorsports, huge shout out to those guys for sending out the Eventuri intake as well as the charge pipe. They have been a huge sponsor on this build, and if you guys need anything from them, I'll have links down below. Hit them up. They have plenty of BMW parts for us. But that is going to wrap up today's video, you guys. Really, really satisfied with this intake setup. The nicest I've ever had, but also this is the nicest car I've ever owned, so I felt like it was worth it to go all in. Anyways, guys, I love y'all. Appreciate you. See you in the next one. Peace.